What's up, everybody? Blessed be. My name is Mannun, and you are watching Witch in the Working, where we will be discussing all things witchy in and around, throughout and about, above, below, and beyond. Please visit me on my other platforms as well, including Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon, all linked down in the description below. The full script of this video and most of the others is available on my Patreon account should you decide to join, and also for download if desired. Also, please visit my Shopify store, also listed in the description below, to get your Witch in the Working shirts, mugs, bags, beanies, or what have you. So, a little while back, Pink and I did a video all about poppets. You can watch that video by clicking on the link above here, and also it's linked below down in the description. Back with us today is our very own Pink. And in this episode...
What an intro!
And in this episode, we're going to take the poppet story just a step further. In this episode, Pink is going to show us some advanced poppet workings called servitors. I'm saying it's advanced poppets, poppet workings, but it can be other things as you're about to learn. So I just think it ties in well with poppets. But anyway, I'm super excited to learn some more about these servitors, and I hope you are too. So without further ado, roll the intro. Welcome back, everybody. So, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about servitors. So let's just jump right into it because it's going to be a pretty lengthy video, as Pink's also going to give a demonstration of creating a servitor. So I got my list of questions here. I'm going to go through it. Ready? Mm-hmm. What are servitors?
Servitors are conjured entities that we create. They can also be thought forms, energies that we put out into this world to do our bidding on an astral level. So they do a task or a bidding for us on the astral plane, which means they can't do our grocery shopping, they can't do our taxes, and they certainly can't go to work for us or take that big test. So none of that stuff, but anything on the astral plane concerning love, protection, prosperity, luck, things of that nature.
It's almost like whatever like you would do a spell for, basically.
Right. It basically is a long-term spell for long-term effects. Something that is helping you out on the astral plane with these. You can have them actually to help you with a spell and still have them. So if you're looking for love and you find love, you can have them continue to help you grow that love and really, I guess, cultivate that love. So
okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Are there different types of servitors?
There are different types of servitors. Like I said, you can make them for anything. You can make them out of anything. So some people like to make a servitor and they have it come to their altar. They have an altar for that servitor specifically set up. Me, however, I personally like to put my servitors into something, and they could be, you could really put an entity or an energy into an object. So that's what I like, because when I talk to my servitors, I like to be talking to someone, or I guess something in this aspect. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a set strategy or like a system for creating a servitor, or are there different systems and different ways of doing it?
Well, I think everybody has their own style. Okay. So definitely there's different...
That's almost like kind of asking, like, does everybody do candle magic the same? I guess it's kind of a stupid question, but...
Well, that's the thing, is everybody has their own style, so there's no one set way, but there is a formal kind of way of doing things, and I say formal as in like a broad term, if you follow a formula, it's like if you're making cookies, you're going to follow the formula of making cookies, but if you add something or subtract something that you don't like, that's okay too.
Gotcha. Yep. Also, I apologize for drinking straight from the bottle today. I forgot my glass, and I'm actually at the studio doing the video, so it's not like I can run over to the kitchen and grab a glass real quick. So, apologies, but anyway.
This is what it is.
So what is the difference between a Servitor, an Agrigore, and a Godhead?
Okay, so a Servitor again, we went over what that is. That is conjured entity, energy, thought process that we make, we create. And Agrigore is about the same thing, but it kind of has its own personality. It's what I would call a rogue servitor, one that has gone, batshit crazy on you.
Okay.
So that's what that is. And a Godhead is something completely different. It's basically it's something that is created in order to serve or I don't know, what do people do with God?
Isn't it like pray and stuff like that? So,
yeah.
so in essence,
that's what people do with God. Right. They pray.
so a Godhead, to a lot of people, just so you know, so to a lot of people in the occult nowadays, a Godhead is basically the equivalence to the gods. So like when Zeus and Demeter and Hecate or Hecate, whatever, who cares, whatever their name, and Pan, whoever, Ariadne, any of these gods and goddesses, when they were created by humans, when they were brought into form, they're considered basically Godheads. So it's almost like a servitor. So in essence, is really the same thought form and same energy, just on a much lesser level than. Yeah.
Correct.
So how long does a servitor last?
So a servitor can last as long as you want them to. So a servitor can be for everything. Servitor can be for a year. Servitor, nobody would do it for a couple of days, but I guess you could. It'd be a waste of time if you ask me. But I guess you could. It's as long as you want. When you are done with the servitor, what you want to do is you want to bid it farewell. You say, your services are no longer needed. I bid you farewell, or something to that term, however you would say it. And then you destroy it. And that means by dismantling it. You could do that by dismantling the altar and clearing it out. You could do that by taking the object and either destroying it, burying it, burning it, things like that.
So to answer, that was actually one of my questions too. So to get rid of a servitor, you actually just tell it you're done using, you thank it, you say thank you for helping, and then dismantle it to get rid of the energy, which will then dissipate back into wherever it came, the earth, whatnot.
That's correct.
Yeah, because again, energy cannot be destroyed, so it has to go somewhere. So
right.
You just can't.
It just recycles itself.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have to give like a servitor like sacrifice? Like, do you have to give it like something to keep it going, like treats or something, like in a sense?
Yeah. So I like to keep a herd of lambs around. No.
Great.
No. So yes. They do like interaction. That's mostly what I do, but you can give it trinkets as well. That's easier to do if you have a altar for it. You can give the servitor trinkets. I just like to interact with them and have them present with me.
So just giving them attention is even enough.
That's enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything to feed the energy. Yeah.
It's kind of like familiars. Like when I work with familiars with people, same thing I'll tell them is just giving them attention, giving them your energy and giving them your attention is usually enough to feed them, to keep them happy, so to speak.
Yeah. They just don't want to be forgotten. That's the biggest thing. Forgetting them could result in them working against you. So you don't want that. Or a rogue one.
Gotcha.
Don't want that.
And going back to the other thing what you said about an Agrigore and Godheads and all those. So I actually know a group of people who, back in Florida, who actually created their own Agrigore. It was actually a Universalist Unitarian church who they had decided that at the time, this is about 15, we'll say 15 years ago. They had some issues with people harassing the church because of the witchcraft that was there, the witchcraft part of it. It was part of this church. So they actually, one evening, we all got together and created an Agrigore, a group Agrigore. There was about, 30 to 40 people there. And they ultimately had come up with a whole idea, some other people's, and they had come up with this whole gargoyle type being that they named Claw, that would that they created to protect the grounds, so that people couldn't hurt the grounds, and also to protect their status, so that people couldn't throw them out of the church, the Wiccan side of things. which wouldn't have happened anyhow. Universalist Unitarian churches won't do that, but still the harassment was there. Anyway, they every year, and this was created in January, every year. As a matter of fact, I believe its anniversary is coming up, where they're gonna basically every year they have another gathering where they rekindle Claw, and they have a little ritual and a little ceremony to give him or her attention, attention. And that's an Agrigore that has been going on for, 15, 16 years now, which is pretty interesting. So, just thought I'd throw that in there too. So if you guys at the Universalist Unitarian Church see this, I gave Claw a shout out.
Hello, Claw.
So what can you house a servitor into? Are there any restrictions or anything? Like, what can you put the energy into?
You can put it into any object whatsoever. As long as that object isn't housed with another kind of spirit, entity, what have you, something else, any other kind of energy, then you can definitely do that. And you would know it is anyways, because before you go to use an object, you clear it out. You do a clearing of it and clear it out. So
okay, very cool. So I did a little bit of research on servitors before we did this video, and I also seen where some people will make a contract with their servitor. How do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, contracts, no, throw that in the garbage. Yeah, no, you don't want to do that.
For your system anyhow.
Yeah. The reason why I say that is because when you do that, you're giving something to get something, and it's usually it's usually a big ticket item. You don't want to lose a finger or anything like that. You don't want to give anything, because giving something of yourself is like something that, like when people say making a deal with the devil, making deals with demons, you don't want to bring the wrong kind of energies in. Energy is here to help us, and if you're giving something to get something, you might be bringing in the wrong energy. So
like making a contract, what you're saying is that pretty much you creating the servitor, giving it your energy from time to time to keep it fed and everything, but that's pretty much enough. There's no sense in making, right. In the system you work with anyhow, there's no sense in making a whole contract and things like that, and making promises that you may not ultimately keep, right. So to speak.
Right. Contracts are something that...
contracts are meant to be broken.
Not really. I mean, that's usually when something is doing something to get something, it's usually not a good entity, and you don't want to work with that anyway. Okay. You don't want to conjure that kind of energy. Okay, so also in that research, I saw where they talked about... my eye itches. They also talked about... like having a kill switch for your servitor in case things start to go astray. Tell us a little bit about that. Yeah, so when you do get a rogue servitor, and it's happened to me before, you just want to destroy it right away. Your services are no longer needed. Thank it, whatever you need to do, and destroy it right away. The second you do that, the second that energy dissipates, recycles itself, and is no longer an issue for you. So I've heard that some people will say like they have like a thing where if they repeat the servitor's name 3 times in a row, that will be their kill switch that they program in themselves. How do you program in yours? Like, what do you do? I don't have a kill switch. That's what I would do. I have heard of that before, but yeah, no, I just would get rid of it. You just like tell it to go away and like maybe kill break the item. For me. You have to like break the item or something. Basically. Yeah, and that way you know it's gone too. I mean, you could say, it could be like something where you say their name 3 times in a row, but if you got a rogue servitor, it might not listen to that. It might not go away. So destroying it's the best thing to do. Okay. So what are some issues with a servitor? We've already talked about that. Like the rogue. Yeah. Is that pretty much it, really? Like the ones that just get out of hand for the most part? Okay. Yeah. So with that being said, I think that's the end of my questions here about servitors and everything here at the studio. So now we're going to move on to Pink is going to actually show us a couple of her servitors that she's been upkeeping over the last, couple of years? Or some of them are a couple of years, some of them are a little bit newer, but yeah. Okay. Maybe nothing less than a year, yeah. Okay, well let's see some of those. So my first servitor is Mr. Scream, and so he is a servitor I created out of gargoyle. He kind of looked mean, even though he was like that, so I painted his face because he's not mean, but he is a protector, and he protects my grimoire. So that's his job, is he makes sure that Nobody can remember anything that they read in my grimoire, and he doesn't really send people bad luck, but he sends them like a discomfort when they are touching my grimoire.
See?
Oh, yeah.
Now when we go back in, it's going to go back to our faces.
How funny is that?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, that's Mr. Scream.
It's the little guy.
Yep. So, a couple of these I may have already shown. So I may have already shown her. This one may have been in my poppets one.
I think it was.
Yeah, this one's Ginger. So Ginger is for remote healing, and I use her whenever I have somebody who's sick in my family, or a friend that is sick, or a friend who knows somebody who's sick. I use this for remote healing to send them healing energy, and this is my little Ginger.
You want to put her up to the thing and we'll get out?
She's just a corn dolly. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's a little corn dolly that I infused with that kind of power.
Okay.
She still smells like Ginger too.
Ginger.
I've had her a long time.
Ginger. Remember Ginger on Ginger on Gilligan's Island?
Mm-hmm.
I totally thought Marianne was much hotter than Ginger.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think she was a lot prettier. I used to totally have a crush on Marianne.
I thought they were both very pretty. Okay. But you know what I didn't get about this whole thing? Is Ginger always wore an evening gown, like she was going to some Grammy Awards, and I'm like,
she was the movie star.
You know what? Still, you know, you're on an island. Let it go.
With a bunch of dangy dudes. You know. Seriously, hold on. Mm-hmm.
So I may have shown her as well. I'm not sure if I showed my Rainbow Bright. This is my Rainbow Bright.
I don't think you did.
I love Rainbow Bright. So Rainbow Bright is a skull of alchemy, as you can see. And she has a couple of my eyes in her right now. So I have magical eyes as well. And this is Eye of the Storm. And then this one right here is Bird's Eye for remote viewing. So this particular one I use in my spell work, and she's always with me at my altar helping me out. I put different crystals in her eyes. I do all kinds of different things depending on what I'm doing with my spell work, and she's there to help me through it. So this is my Rainbow Bright. We're supposed to go back again, do that whole thing.
Yeah.
Rainbow Bright. I don't have as long as arms as you.
That's good though. Okay. Yeah, so we got to do that because my camera's set up to automatically focus on our faces. So we have to throw our faces out of the camera in order for something to focus. Otherwise, she would put it up to the camera and it would just stay blurry. Like if I put my hand, see how it just stays out of focus, and it's because it's staying on our faces. So wait a minute. So you talked about eyes. So I've seen like where you had a video on eyes. Actually, I'll put it down in the description below. Your video on eyes. And that should be pretty, check that out. We should do that one day. You should do a video with Witch in the Working about your eyes.
Okay.
That you make, which are really cool. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
And I think that is all the servitors I brought.
Oh, okay. Well, you're going to show us. So here's what we're going to do now. So that's it for the studio. We're going to actually head back to the apartment now and put the cameras back up. And Pink's going to show us how to actually make a servitor, which will be pretty cool. And I think we have a special guest too, right? We have another guest coming.
We do have a special guest.
And you're going to go ahead.
Yeah, so the special guest we're having is actually my daughter Q, and she is going to be learning how to make servitors for the first time. It's something that I haven't taught her when she was younger because she was just too young. She's 13 now. So I feel comfortable showing her this, although I wouldn't feel comfortable with her doing it alone. So
cool. All right, so I guess we will head back to the apartment at this point. We'll see you guys there.
Okay, so today we're going to be making a servitor, an actual servitor that I'm going to have here in our household that we're going to have until we leave, or maybe we bring it to our next one. I don't know. We can keep it as long as we like. So I'm going to start off by doing everything that I need to do. I already formed my circle, so that's fine. But everything that has to do with the spell in general, I'm going to do right here for you guys. So this is my daughter Q, by the way.
Hi.
She's 13 years old, and I'm gonna have her, she's learning this all together, so I'm gonna have her just hand me the tools that I need. So Q, would you be able to hand me the matches, please? Thank you. Now I'm going to be explaining everything I do as I go along. I use matches in my craft all the time because I feel like matches are a more natural form of making a flame, but that's just me. It's not a requirement. And that was fun, huh? There we go. So that one did not work. Let's see.
Tab, don't mess this up.
I know, right? Okay, so first I'm going to light my working candle, and that is my actual working candle that I use at my altar, which this took forever to set up because typically I have everything on hand at my altar, and it's just a few things I have to set up. All right, so I'm going to hand these to you.
That actually smells really good.
Yeah.
I don't know why, it just does.
So I already formed my circle. So the first thing I'm going to do when it comes to cleansing the space is I'm going to do some sound cleansing. So from this point forward, unless I'm talking about the actual spell itself, which I can do, I can't really talk about anything else. So we can't talk about your day, we can't talk about things that you like, none of that stuff. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that. I didn't have much of a day anyways.
It's a Sunday.
all I did was sat around and watch Harley Quinn.
And there you have it. All right, so I'm going to do some sound cleansing. And this is to get rid of all the impurities and sounds that have been in the presence of me, Q, and all the objects here on the table. Sound cleansing the little altar space. I do all my workings on this round mirror because I like all the energy reflecting back onto the work that I do. And next I'm going to be, I normally use Palo Santo, but I'm actually going to be using Dragon's Blood Sage because today my Servitor is going to be a dragon, so I've been kind of wanting to keep to the theme, and Dragon's Blood is also for protection, so it works for us. And always try and come into a clockwork motion because we are bringing in. We're clearing out and bringing in. All right. Feel pretty good about that? You feel pretty good about that?
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about that. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I'm heating up this little oil warmer. And I like to heat up my oils. I think it brings in more energy. It gives that energy of the fire. It cooks it up. It cooks up my intention. I like that. That's just me. You don't have to do that. It's just something I like to do. So we are going to make our oil cocktail. Q, would you give me the lemon oil? Because that's going to be the most oil we use today.
This one?
Yeah, I'm trying to get this to be in the middle here.
Don't burn yourself.
I've been doing this a long time. There we go.
Don't burn yourself.
All right, so We're going to use a lot of lemon oil. That's going to be the most of it. Okay. I'm going to hand this back to you. And after I hand that back to you, I want you to hand me the ylang-ylang.
Is the lemon oil something you can eat?
No. Don't eat your essential oils. I don't know. I think you can eat it, but don't do it. Just don't do it. There we go. That's some ylang-ylang oil. And I'm going to put that back. And can you hand me the little napkin there?
This one?
Paper towel, yeah. It's got a little bit on my hands. There we go. And then the lavender oil.
Yay!
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna let that cook up together. I'm gonna have you put that back, and then there's a little piece of dragon's blood resin that I'm gonna have you hand me.
Dragon's blood resin?
Yeah, it looks like the raisin right there.
Oh, this?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna plop that right in the middle, let that all heat up together. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna have you hand me is the paper and the pen.
Oh.
Okay. So this right here is going to be our servitor. And it's a cute little dragon. It's a raspberry dragon, it has little raspberries. So I've come up with a little name for this guy. And this guy is going to be named, or her name is going to be, because it's a she, her name is going to be Larazabeth. So,
That's a pretty name.
yep. Okay, and Larazabeth's birthday is today, which is
1/9/22.
Larazabeth is a Capricorn. All right, so now we have to give Larazabeth, she's got her name, she's got her birthday, and now we got to give her her function. What is Larazabeth doing?
Elizabeth is protecting the house, right?
Right. Okay. So I'm going to sign this. Q's going to sign this. And then I'm going to kiss this. It's just the petition.
Do we gotta do our
So-
full name?
No. You're just gonna put your energy into it. So this is Larazabeth, her birthday, and this tells Larazabeth what she is and what she does. And at the end, I just write, "This is my will, so mote it be." That's how I write it. I know a lot of people write it like that. I tend to like it, so I do. So I'm just gonna sign. You sign. Perfect. All right. So when I fold the petition, I fold it towards me. Then I move counterclockwise. I fold it towards me again. And I move counterclockwise. And I fold it towards me again. I like to do counterclockwise. This is the way I am. This feels right to me. Now I'm going to put the petition underneath the tray that we're using for the spell. And it's just going to sit right there. And now we're going to get the energy flowing through here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put more energy in here. With some dragon's blood incense.
I want to eat that.
No eating the incense. Okay. So bringing in, bringing in. Raspberry. All right. I'm just gonna let that burn. Sometimes I take it out and I use it throughout my spell work. So we're gonna take Elizabeth. We're actually gonna put her right in here. And all the crystals and stones around here have to do with dispelling negativity and protection. So that's good. And I think some for cleansing too. So, all right. So next I'm gonna have you hand me the black candle and hand me the inscriber. Thank you. All right. So I'm just gonna inscribe some things for protection here onto the candle and Elizabeth's name. And I'm actually gonna write her name upwards. I don't think this is going to show up on camera, so I apologize. My name takes up the whole candle. It's a long name.
Oh, you shouldn't have given her a long name.
I know. Alright, so I'm just going to put her name and then I'm going to put symbols of protection on here. Okay. Alright, so that's not going to show up on camera, especially since it's a black candle. I chose a black candle because black is for protection. You can also do blue or white. Okay.
Black is my favorite color.
But we're doing it because it's for protection. So I'm actually going to move Elizabeth a little bit forward because we're going to actually stick this to there. And I shouldn't put her on here first, but that's fine. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to dip this in the oil and then we're gonna anoint it in upward position. I'm not gonna be vocal, but as I'm doing that, I'm going to imagine the protection that Elizabeth is gonna bring us. I'm gonna envision that and manifest that in my mind so that it allows Elizabeth to do the job that she's supposed to do. So, I'm going to put it at the bottom here, just kind of mix it right up. Okay, can you move Elizabeth for just a sec? Okay, you can put her down. And can you hand me that little napkin right there, please? Thank you. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put our herbs onto the candle. I'm gonna hand this back to you. Can you hand me the spoon, please? All right.
Heart-shaped.
Yep, so I'm gonna have you hand me the periwinkle herb, please. And all these herbs I'm putting on here are for protection, of course. And you don't have to worry about getting it all onto the candle either, because even having it onto the plate that you're using is good too. So the next thing I'm gonna have you hand me is the lavender heads. Nope, the lavender herb, sorry. Thank you. So I had a big thing of lavender heads, and I was like, oh, I don't want to bring that out. And I was fortunate enough to get these lavender heads for Christmas from a friend of ours named Ileana. So thank you, Ileana. These are coming in handy.
I got this side.
Okay. All right. And the next I'm going to need is the rose heads. I'm going to hand you back this. And just the dried roses.
This?
Yep. And I'm going to hand you back this because I'm just going to load this up. As you can see, I got plenty. I don't have to be skimpy on it. There we go. Try and stick 1 or 2 to it. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to hand that to you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to melt the bottom of this real quick. I like it to drip 3 times, and that's a good indication that it is ready to be pushed onto the plate. There we go. And it is good. It is golden. Move these. And then I'm going to put the Razabeth right there.
I forgot her name too. It's perfectly okay.
No, I should have put it up more, the candle, but that's okay. There we go. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to light this candle. And then we're going to say what we want the candle to do. And then we're going to just let it run its course and let the spell run its course. And we're not going to have to do that all on camera. I think we get the fact that the candle's supposed to go all the way down. Now, the issue that you want to take care of is if you don't have a lot of time and you can't let the candle go all the way down, you want to snuff out the flame, never blow away the flame, and then relight it with stating your intention again. You never just want to blow out the candle. So we're not going to be snuffing out this candle tonight. We're going to be home all night. I'm going to be able to watch it. So, Q, if you could hand me the matches, please. Elizabeth, you will protect this household. This is my will. So mote it be. Okay. And back to you. I'm going to put that right over there.
It's hot.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to, and Q, I'm going to have you help me with this.
Oh, okay.
We're going to put some intention in. And you don't have to do this the entire time for the candle, but you want to do this as long as you can.
Well, you didn't have to do it the entire time?
No, you don't have to do this the entire time, but I want you to focus. Focus on what you want Elizabeth to do. Put that energy in there. You can continue, you can continue. All right, so that is a spell that I've done. You want as smoothly as possible. I'm pretty pleased with it, and we're just gonna let this finish. And it was really nice to show you how a Servitor is made. And if you have any questions, definitely put them in the comments below, and we can get back to you.
See ya.
So that's going to wrap up this episode of Witch in the Working. Do you guys ever do Servitors? Do you guys ever mess around with anything, any of these poppets or Servitors or Agrigores even, or anything like that? Put it down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up and ring that little bell to be reminded of future episodes to come. We love you guys and gals. We'll see you in the next video.
See ya.